All right, so what not to do when jump starting your vehicle. See, I got the starter down here. This is a short story that leads into that. Moral of the story, don't take something small and try to jump start something big. You end up with a mess. That Honda right there has an alternator on it that puts out maybe 80, maybe 95 amps, maybe even less than that. I'm not sure, but I know it's not a whole lot. 2500 HD with the 8.1 Allison transmission. The ignition is loose, so I went to turn it off one night when I got done stump grinding, and instead of going back into the off position, it went all the way back to accessory position. Radio drained the battery overnight. I'm running way behind. I come out here, I take the jumper cables, quickest thing to do, jumper cables from the Honda to the truck, and jump in it, hoping a prayer, turn ignition, hoping something's gonna happen, and it doesn't. I just keep doing it back and forth. Finally, it gets enough juice to the Bendix to drive the Bendix out and engage the gear on the flywheel. Unfortunately, there was not enough juice there to turn the flywheel over, and so what juice was there created a dead spot in the starter because it would not turn, and that's how you get dead spot in the starter. Moral of the story, don't hook something small to something big when it's really dead. So the more I use this with my 665 tow behind stump grinder, you can see I got it on the front here. I'm constantly having to move the truck when I do, hook it up to the front of the truck, and the dead spot in the starter, you can smell it. You can smell the starter. You can smell the starter and or the wiring, I'm not sure, but you can smell it a couple times. If you hold it too long, you hold it trying to get over the dead spot. If you cycle the key, kind of bump it a little bit, get past the dead spots, it helps a little bit. But I'm replacing the starter just to get past all this, and it also started sounding bad. It got a little slop in the Bendix. I noticed it when I took it to the parts store to match it up. The Bendix would slide very loosely in and out about 1 inch, whereas this one here, you can just barely move it, maybe 1/4 of an inch. So it gave a horrible grinding sound when it shot out. I can also tell that the gear here stays out this way above this face surface here, whereas the other one was sliding all the way in. But I do love working on GMC because in their great wisdom, 2 bolts, unhook the wires, this thing drops right out. You can change a starter on one of these trucks in 10 minutes if you know what you're doing, maybe even less. Like I said, moral of the story, don't jump start something big that's dead with something small. Don't do it.